For every good idea in the gaming world, there's 1,000 people who wish they'd thought of it first, and a few of them actually have the nerve to act like they thought of it first. From Chinese Overwatch to a game child, here are 15 of the most blatant video game ripoffs ever released. I'm Danger Dolan, and today I will be your narrator.
Number 15.
Kong for the VX Spectrum. Donkey Kong was one of the kings of video gaming during the 1980s, and so it's no surprise it drew its fair share of copycats. This game copied everything. Not only is the game just called Kong, but even the level design is identical. The only thing that's different is that Donkey Kong appears to have been replaced by some red alien with nipples that stare at you.
Number 14.
Even the name Another Bound doesn't make much sense on its own, but it makes a little more sense when you look at it and realize it's just a Metroid Prime clone. In fairness, it's an old freeware game for the PC, so if you wanted to play a slightly crappier Metroid Prime and you just didn't own a GameCube, well, you should just buy a GameCube instead of playing this shite.
Number 13.
Dr. DROID. Here's an action puzzle game in which you match colored pills with similarly colored viruses. Called Dr. No wait, Dr. DROID. It's definitely not Dr. Mario, cause see, this one has green pills instead of yellow. And it looks like crap.
Number 12.
The Legend of Titans. Overwatch took the gaming world by storm when it launched in the summer of 2016, and China wanted in on the action. It took them all about a month to reverse engineer the game and release The Legend of Titans on mobile devices, which is just Overwatch. It's just exactly Overwatch. They even went so far as to just copy the actual character models. The company behind the clone said it was just a demo and not an actual game. The game was already released in China as they said that.
Number 11.
The mini POLYSTATION 3 is probably the best argument you'll ever see to read the fine print. From a distance, if you squint, it kinda says PS3, but in much smaller print surrounding the P and S, you can see it spells out mini POLYSTATION 3. Even that name makes it sound close to the PlayStation it's trying to copy, and the design's similar. If you ignore the fact that the disc slot doesn't take discs, just takes little LCD screen inserts, which are actually the things you play the games on.
Number 10.
The Nintendo Wii spawned a ton of copycat products like the V and the Wii. They certainly look similar, but the attempts to copy the motion controls were not great. In most cases, they just configured controllers that need to be swung to activate a single button. There weren't so much motion controls as just a swing button, which made sense because all of them came packaged with Wii Sports knockoffs.
Number 9.
Sword Requiem. Grid-based tactical strategy games are everywhere, but Nintendo's Fire Emblem holds up the gold standard. You could make the argument that Sword Requiem isn't technically a Fire Emblem knockoff until you actually look at them side by side. Even the sprites look the same, but the game's description is a bit different. Sword Requiem says that unlike added RPGs, this adventure is abounding with abstruseness and surprises, like their grammar.
Number 8.
Super Bros! There's no end to the Mario clones on mobile devices that have no shame about what they rip off. There's Andrio World, Hario World, and even Super Smash Jungle World. But Super Bros is just one of the worst. It doesn't even try to hide the fact that it's a clone. It straight up says you can, remember the old school adventure games, the good old days, by hitting fireballs on their funny faces. The top hat isn't fooling anyone. We know who that is.
Number 7.
Angry Farm. Mobile games are sort of the hotbed for copycat knockoff games, but usually they're knocking off major titles on console or PC. Here's a mobile game knocking off another mobile game, because why settle for Angry Birds when you can have an entire farm of animals that seem to have the same angry eyebrows as the birds that still launch themselves at rickety structures to knock them off? It's okay guys, they were just inspired.
Number 6.
Sepia Go is to Splatoon what Legend of Titans is to Overwatch. It's a mobile knockoff that unabashedly rips off the game's characters, concept and gameplay. Oh, and it's from China, of course.
Number 5.
Hangly Man is a butchered Japanese translation, supposed to be Hungry Man, but actually it's just a hacked Pac-Man clone. In this version, the maze is slightly different in shape and it randomly disappears. This game didn't just quietly pop onto mobile devices a few years ago, it was actually a real physical arcade cabinet back in the 1980s.
Number 4.
Some parent somewhere likely called their kid an ungrateful little brat because they asked for a Game Boy and received this, the Game Child. Game Boy Game Child was the difference, they'd ask, and the kid would try to explain. The Game Boy had removable cartridges, which meant it had more than 3 crappy games. The Game Child had 3 crappy games and a very tiny screen. That's the key difference.
Number 3.
Pong. It's the first truly successful visual game, the grandfather of basically everything that came after. That's right, not only is Pong not the first game ever, it's actually a knockoff. It's actually so blatant Atari paid Magnavox $700,000 as a licensing fee for ripping off table tennis on the Magnavox Odyssey, because they lost a patent infringement lawsuit.
Number 2.
Classic Robot War would be more convincing as an original property, if not for the fact that they just use Mega Man's likeness on the title screen and the classic title. But even more confusing is the fact that the title screen doesn't just say Mega Man, it says Mega Man VR? Okay, fair enough. I'm pretty sure this game isn't for VR. If by VR you mean it's a crappy cell phone bootleg, sure.
Number 1.
GameLoft's entire library. GameLoft is an offshoot company of Ubisoft and Vivendi Universal, which made its name creating shameless mobile knockoffs of the biggest AAA games, and it is still making its money doing the exact same thing. Some of its more notable titles include Modern Combat 5 Blackout, Gangstar Crime City, Hero of Sparta, and an Assassin's Creed game for iOS. Oh, and of course the World of Warcraft clone, who could forget that one. Blatant is now a video game. Play it as Dolan, Melissa, and the rest of the PD crew collecting shinies to unlock skins and power-ups. Download from the Android or iOS App Store and start racing today for free. That is it for this countdown. Have a good one!